Hey, what up? It's your boy. It's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe the actual amount of people who have been asking me on like Twitter and Instagram about this, but we did it last year. You guys enjoyed it for some reason, so we're doing it again. If you guys know of a little app called Spotify, then you will know that at the end of every single year, they do this thing called the Spotify Wrapped. You've probably seen it floating around on your social media accounts as well, but essentially it's this thing that Spotify made where it gives you like an end of year recap of the things that you have been listening to through Spotify. And I did one just randomly because I thought maybe like 5 people might find it interesting last year of my own Spotify Wrapped of 2022, but it turns out a lot of you guys really liked it, so we're gonna do it again. All right, so here we go. Ooh, they've like really made this like proper this time. Hello, you. It's rap time. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, this is the first time I'm watching this as well, by the way, so we're gonna kind of check it out together. 2023 was a feast for your ears. You listened to 70 genres. Hey, not bad. I'm playing around with it, but how do your tastes stack up? What kind of genre sandwich do we have? Alternative hip-hop, rock, Midwest emo, jazz, and indie rock. This is kind of similar to last year, isn't it? Indie rock and rock. I mean, yeah, obviously I love my rock music, so I assume like, things like punk and stuff like that are probably included in it as well. Although a lot of the punk and metal that I have been listening to this year, I was listening through my vinyl player. Again, I'm pretty sure I said that last year as well. But all right, yeah, that's definitely sounds like me. This year, your listening took you places. Oh, okay, this is kind of new. And one place listened just like you. Burlington, USA. People there are far more likely to be fans of Built to Spill, Mike, and Car Seat Headrest. Wow. I don't know what state that is. I assume if my US geography is correct, it's like New York? I don't know. It's somewhere in New England, I assume. So, hey, shout out to the East Coast people who have just as good of a music taste as I do. You played 3,118 songs in 2023, and there was one that really connected. Oh. Wow, really? My top song was Carry the Zero by Built to Spill. You played it 91 times this year starting on February 24, and it still sounds perfect. Yes, I absolutely freaking agree. You know what? I ain't mad at the fact that this was my most played song because this song and this album, banger. I think I discovered Built to Spill, I guess, yeah, at the beginning of this year. Probably from a recommendation from a friend of mine who's like a massive Built to Spill fan, and I gave it a listen. And yo, I didn't realize that had bops, man. That had fucking bops. So please, if you have time, maybe after this video, during this video, whenever you'd like, give Built to Spill a listen. They're a fantastic freaking 90s band. Definitely recommend. I'm not mad about this one. I thought it was gonna be some like weird ass song, but you had room in your heart for more than one favorite. All right, I assume this is gonna be my top 5 favorite. You romantic, you. Stop it. All right, here are my top songs. Wow. Carry the Zero by Built to Spill. Fantastic song, as I mentioned. Easter Sunday by Z-Loopers and Earl Sweatshirt. Yeah, this was one that I think I randomly found on some like alternative hip-hop playlist because, Spotify makes like those random playlists based on the stuff that you've been listening to. Obviously, I'm a massive Earl Sweatshirt fan. You guys know from, previous years I've talked about him. And I guess from there I discovered Z-Loopers, who is also just as weird, just as eccentric, and they have a track together called Easter Sunday, and it goes hard. Great track. We have Parking Lot by Mineral. Was I okay this year? Because Parking Lot by Mineral is, one of the Midwest emo songs of all time. Let's just say that. Amazing fucking band, by the way. Amazing album as well. As much as I love like all of these albums individually, I think the reason why like these songs were included is because, these are like the perfect songs that I can just like play when people are around as well, and like I can show a lot to people. Like when you introduce Built to Spill or Mineral or even Algernon Cadwallader, which is a band I still can't fucking pronounce to this day, even though I love them. I think these are the tracks that are just like the most straightforward and easiest to introduce people to those bands. But yeah, Parking Lot by Mineral is amazing, and that entire first Mineral album is so goddamn good. I might actually listen to. I don't think I've actually listened to this Mineral album in a while, so this must just be like me just being on a Mineral binge earlier in the year. I might actually go and listen to this album while I'm editing this video. We have Nobles, the Alchemist track featuring Earl Sweatshirt and Navy Blue. Amazing fucking track. I think if you've listened to any Navy Blue, if you've listened to any Earl Sweatshirt, you'll know that like the chemistry between Earl and Navy Blue is unparalleled, and the music video is sick as fuck. Great beat by The Alchemist. I mean, he's kind of slowly becoming the GOAT, if he isn't already the GOAT of hip-hop production. And Pitfall by Algernon Cadwallader. How the fuck do you pronounce that? Can someone in the comments, if you know this band, tell me how the fuck you pronounce this? Because I swear, out of the 3 people I've ever met in my life who have even heard of this band, they all pronounce this band's name differently. So I need to know what is the official way to pronounce this band's name. I don't know. But Pitfall is an amazing Midwest emo track. The vocals are just so fucking... it just makes you want to scream along. I swear, like, to me, I feel like I listen to more of Parking Lot and Pitfall than I did Easter Sunday or Nobles, but hey, the data doesn't lie. You listen to 37,560 minutes. That's 26 days non-stop. Again, it would have been a lot more without my record player. You peaked on January the 3rd at 587 minutes. Okay. You listen to 1,215 artists this year, but one came out on top. Who is it? It's Mike, baby. It's my boy Mike. It's the GOAT Mike. This is no different to last year. He came out with a number of albums in 2023 that were fucking awesome. Burning Desire is an incredible album. I wasn't really fucking with it at first, but then after multiple listens, it really grew on me. That's an amazing album. And I just feel he's just getting better and better and better. So shout outs to Mike and all the Mike listeners. You're a top 0.05% fan and you spent 2,396 minutes together, which is a lot considering the average Mike song is like 2 minutes long. You can get enough of Nothing I Can Do Is Wrong. Yeah, the first track off of Beware of the Monkey. That's also a fucking amazing song. You had something special with your top artists. Here's how you spent time with them across the year. Okay, so my peak listening month for Mike was January, probably because, you know, I was on that huge Mike binge last year. Number 2 was Earl Sweatshirt in October, which was... a month ago, 2 months ago. Yeah, Milo is another artist, another great alternative hip-hop artist that I have recently fallen in love with quite a bit. He goes under different names, which is always difficult to keep track of. He goes under Milo, but he doesn't do Milo stuff anymore. He goes under Rap Ferreira now, which is also amazing. Scallops Hotel as well. Nostrum Grocers with Elucid as well. Like, amazing old hip-hop guy. Definitely get into him if you love you like Earl Sweatshirt and Mike, for sure. Oh, and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in July. Oh, I actually think I know why. It's because during July, I was in Vietnam, which you guys can, you know, watch the vlog of because I made a vlog on that. And a lot of that time, I was sitting in the back of a car or on the back of a bus or in a plane. And obviously, I wanted to go through a bunch of albums. And, you know, King Gizzard is a great varied artist that offers so many different sounds. And so I just went on a King Gizzard binge during those car rides. So, hey, that makes sense. And number 5 was American Football in January. Again, going off of the trend from 2022. So my top artists were Mike, Earl Sweatshirt, Milo, King Gizzard, and American Football. That definitely sounds like me. Oh, I listened to Trash Taste for 146 minutes. Is that vain of me that I'm checking out my own podcast? I think you know what it is. As ironic as this is going to sound, I'm not someone who listens to podcasts, even though I have one myself. But I think going into this year, I actually wanted to hear what our podcast sounded like on streaming sites like Spotify as opposed to the YouTube version, right? And you know, I mostly did that just for like research purposes because like, you know, there's a big difference between delivering a joke or, you know, telling a story with visual aid like on YouTube versus just audio on things like Spotify, right? So I wanted to know, like, just for myself and just for my self-improvement to be like, okay, does the way that I portray this sound just as funny, or does the joke land just as good in an audio only format? I think I'm getting there. Obviously, I'm no fucking comedian. I'm definitely not the funniest person, even on the podcast, but I'm trying and I'm doing my research and I'm trying to improve, and that's the most important thing. The way you listen this year makes you a hero, or maybe we should say anti-hero. What are you getting at, Spotify? Hypnotist. Your concentration is absolute, friend. You like to play albums all the way through from the opening track to the final note. Yeah, and I think that's how people should be listening to music. As much as I appreciate a musician who's able to deliver like a banger song or, you know, get a really big hit out there, I think one thing that I appreciate as a musician myself is, are you able to give me the album experience. And I feel that's kind of an art that's slowly dying with modern artists, just because, you know, of things like Spotify, where like people can quickly choose tracks and stuff like that. But as someone who, you know, loves listening to music on the record player, where you can't just skip around to songs and you're kind of forced to sit through and listen to an album from start to finish, that's the way I like to enjoy music. You know, if I put on an album, I am dedicated to listening to that album. And I think that's why, you know, as much as it is important to have those like big hits, it's also important to just have a solid album. And I think that really makes or breaks a great artist. And, you know, not every album is going to be like that. There are going to be some tracks that you don't fuck with as much or whatever, but I think some of the best artists out there are able to give you the best shit from start to finish and give you just overall a great experience. I'm happy with being a hypnotist. Hey, if you also got the hypnotist card on your Spotify Wrapped, then shout out to you guys. So yeah, there you go, guys. That was my Spotify Wrapped. Basically, it wasn't really that much different, I would say, to last year's, but we're going to cover one more Spotify Wrapped that's not necessarily mine. That's right, because as I mentioned, we have the Trash Taste podcast, and it seems like Spotify now is doing a Wrapped for particular podcasts. So now we get to be on the opposite side of things, and instead of the individual and seeing how the individual reacted to certain music and listened to certain music, now we get to see how you guys were for Trash Taste. All right, let's take it from the top. Sure, give it to me. Speaking of top, your top episode was The Dark Side of Teaching in Japan, featuring Premier 2, Trash Taste 137. I mean, it was voted as podcast episode of the year, so I'm definitely not surprised by that. Pete is an absolutely amazing storyteller, and he's just such an awesome dude. Please go and support Premier 2. We're really glad that that episode did well, and, you know, we brought him back as well because he was just such a boss. I'm really happy that happened. It was streamed 260% more than your average episode, which checks out because I think even on YouTube, it is quickly becoming one of our most viewed episodes. I think it's already at like 3 million views, which, you know, is topping even some of the massive guests that we've had on Trash Taste. So, hey, that just goes to show just how much of a boss Pete is and how much he undervalues himself and undersells himself as a creator. 39% of your listeners discovered you in 2023. Wow. You know, that's actually something I'm very happy with, because being a podcast that's been around for 3.5 years, almost 4 years next year, you know, most podcasts definitely start to dwindle down after that period, right? Like not a lot of podcasts, especially on YouTube, now that everybody and anybody can make podcasts on YouTube, you know, kind of struggle to get new audiences and get new viewers, especially when you go as far as like, you know, 180 episodes that we've done on the podcast so far. So to know that almost half of the listeners in like our current listeners, at least on Spotify, discovered us this year is really encouraging to us. That just goes to show that we're still able to appeal to new listeners. So thank you very much if you discovered us in 2023, regardless of when you discovered us. You know, we really appreciate you guys enjoying the podcast and sticking around. The most controversial anime takes featuring Hassan brought them in. 7% of new listeners started right there. I mean, I think that 7% might just be Hassan's audience who discovered Trash Taste due to his appearance. But yeah, that was also an amazing episode. Weirdly, the most anime-centric episodes, even though Hassan is not an anituber, although he is a weeb. You were streamed in 149 countries. United States was your top country with 37% of your total streams. I mean, look, the US being the primary viewer base of ours is no surprise, considering we did the US tour last year and so many of you guys showed up. If you did show up, thank you very much. It was one of the best fucking experiences of my life, and also the Europe tour as well. Can't forget about the Euro, bro. Shout out to you guys as well. But you were streamed in 149 countries. That's fucking insane, considering there's like what 193 countries in the world. Literally 3/4 of the planet have listened to Trash Taste. That's fucking crazy. I can't even name 149 countries. Can you? Your listeners have good taste, obviously. So what else are they into? Your listeners' top podcast genres were comedy, leisure, society, and culture. Hey, if there was 3 genres to describe Trash Taste, that would be it. Maybe not in that order, but that would be it. Oh, okay, so there's a breakdown of how you guys shared the podcast. 58% direct link to the Spotify, 15% other, I don't know what other is, 12% WhatsApp, and 8% text, and 7% Instagram. 12% of you guys shared on WhatsApp. I mean, I know there's countries out there that definitely use WhatsApp more than any other social media or messaging app, but 12% on WhatsApp. That's pretty insane. So thank you to all the WhatsApp users. Your podcast rating was 4.9. Can you feel the love? That's out of 5, by the way, not out of 10. But yes, I feel the love. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, pop quiz. Oh, okay. We're going to do a pop quiz now. What episode got the most audience engagement? The most drunk we've been on Trash Taste. So that was a drunk episode. We fell off. I don't even remember what we talked about in that episode. I guess we fell off. And the most controversial anime takes featuring Hassan. Well, I'm going to assume the biggest audience engagement was the Hassan episode, right? Considering we got a lot of new viewers from it. Oh, it's not. Okay, so it's either we fell off or the drunk episode. Then I guess it's got to be the drunk episode. Okay, it was the drunk episode. The most drunk we've been on Trash Taste is correct. Listeners joined in 657 times. I mean, yeah, we definitely went off the handle with that one, and that just incited our audience to just want more drunk episodes. You hit the charts in 13 countries and peaked at number 1. Damn. I don't know, just seeing that makes me really fucking happy, so thank you guys. You charted for a total of 43 weeks. That puts you in the top 1% of charted podcasters. The sweet sound of success. Plus 5% streams and plus 24% followers. Okay, so we definitely grew this year, which is, again, awesome. You know, considering, again, we're a podcast that's been around for a long time and we're still appealing to new people. Hey, that's always a good sign. Can't forget to give a shout out to your biggest fans, of course. Tell me, Spotify, who are our biggest fans? You're a top 10 podcast for 297,719 fans. Damn, guys. That's fucking awesome. Thank you very much, guys. You're a top 5 podcast for 267,000 fans. That didn't go down by a lot. All right. You're the number 1 podcast for 142,000 fans. That's wild. 65% are returning listeners. See, that's always an encouraging thing, right? Like, we obviously want to get new people to listen to our podcast, obviously, but we also want you guys who are already invested in Trash Taste to want to come back to Trash Taste. You know, like, the last thing we want is for you guys to get bored of us, you know? So thank you to 65% who are still around. Yeah, when you look at it this way, that's a lot. Because, again, I thought the majority of our audience, or the majority of the people who know Trash Taste, only just watch the YouTube videos. But to know that almost at least 300,000 of you think that we're the top 10 best podcasts on Spotify is fucking wild to us. And there you go. There is some stats right there. I mean, we'll probably be posting these on Twitter eventually, if not already. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for supporting us on Trash Taste this year. And hey, next year, there's going to be a lot of banger shit coming out, so look forward to it. But yeah, there you go, guys. That was my Spotify Wrapped, as well as the Trash Taste in a nutshell in 2023 of this year. What did you guys think? Let me know your opinions down in the comments below. And while you're at it, guys, let me know what your Spotify Wrap looks like. What were your favorite songs of this year? What were your favorite artists of this year? What are some new artists that you found that you want to share with people? I'd love to know all of that and so much more. Let me know down in the comments below. But hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here. Subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. Over here next to my head is a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one, and the links to my social media as well as my Patreon to support me directly. And hey, nonsense, if you didn't see it on Twitter and Instagram, we have just revealed that we are doing an official collaboration with Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That is coming out very, very soon. So get in quick, follow the socials down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.